it going, Internet? Edrickson here, reporting for VideoGameAddictz. Welcome to our top 5 free indie games of the week. I'm diving into the depths of the internet and checking out our top 5 freebies you can play in your wonderful free time. I will be letting you know the good, the bad, the ugly, and all that's in between. So, without further ado, let us get started with our countdown. Flying in at number 5, we have Flatbound. Now, I ain't gonna beat around the bush here. Yes, it is essentially a Flappy Bird clone, which is great if you are a fan of the game. My personal feelings of Flappy Bird aside, I wanted to take a quick look at what makes this clone unique. This game was essentially the same game, but you're playing the part of what looks like a severed head. I mean, I think it's a severed head. Either that, or you're playing the character of disembodied head of film noir legend Robert Mitchum from Film Cow, but I'm not quite sure if that's what they're trying to aim for. So, in addition to that, the only thing that was new was you need to grab erasers to remove the pencil obstacles blocking your path. You're flying through what could be a suburb from the film Upside Down, where you've got houses on the bottom and up top, and you've got to fly in between the rooftops, and then there's gigantic pencils blocking the way. I'm not quite sure what the whole point of it was, but it was a new added twist to the game. So you've got to get these rubbers to get past the pencils, and if you don't, you die, and it just adds an extra level of challenge. So while I didn't think it was really building on anything new from the game, I felt like it was trying to try something a little bit extra to just continue the life of this game, just keep bringing it some more material to work with. So that's my number 5 at the moment. Let us move on to the next one in the list. Swooping in to the next spot, claiming number 4, we have Another Bird. No, that's what it's called, Another Bird. Essentially another clone. This game had the stomach to try another planet. That automatically put it into a high running for this week's listing. The music wasn't too irritating either. The background even had some thought put into it. It got my imagination going, which gives it brownie points in my eyes. It felt like you were flying through the ruins of a dying world, a messenger bird battling its way through the ruins to deliver a vital message. If there was a backstory, I would have even enjoyed it to an extent. The potential backstory I was inventing by myself to the game left me slightly invested into what I was doing, which is what I want in a game, even better if it's free. I want to feel like I care about it, and I know it's a free indie game, and a free indie game that even slightly makes me care. You're onto a winner. So throw in an enemy and I would have been very happy. It felt like it tried. However, it was trying to disguise itself into something new. You could dress Flappy Bird up, but it doesn't change what it was at its core. Another clone. Just this time, it had a bit of charm, mystery, and potential investment to it. So, for putting in an effort and getting my imagination to add some extra details to this game, it comfortably perched itself into my number 4 slot. Staggering into the middle of my top 5 is Delirious. So how would I describe this game? Let me start by asking you a question. What would happen if you slipped drugs into Flappy Bird's drink? Well, he would be delirious, that's for sure. This takes the game of Flappy Birds and adds the twist of having bloomin' pills being your major obstacle. Don't even worry about the pipes that get in your way. They're the least of your worries. You see a pill, you get the fudge out the way. The more of those little buggers you get, the harder it becomes to play. I felt like I was tripping some serious balls while playing this game. I was higher than a blasted mountain goat. That aside, I really felt like an abused housewife returning for more. The music you get once you grab one of those joyful little buggers is enough to keep you coming back. I found myself not even caring about the game. I just wanted them pills. Oh. So, that's what it's like to be addicted to drugs. Damn. So in summary, this game, I felt like it had enough of a new take on the game to stand away from the other clones and come into its own. So for having a spark of some originality, that's what's going to put this game into my number 3 slot of the top 5. Twisting and turning its way into the top 5 at number 2 in spins, Offset. So what is this game? Well, essentially it's a puzzle game, self-described to check your logical thinking and watchfulness. Check these skills and at the same time enjoy some photos of the world's most beautiful places. Just restore broken images. Well, it's undeniable that some of the images used in the game were beautiful and inspired awe in myself. Puzzles themselves lacked challenge in the earlier levels. It was a little too easy. It felt like taking a trip through Tumblr, just lacking the funny comments. The game gave you simple challenges to complete before you even get to view it. However, you could just essentially work out what the image was just by looking at it before completing the challenge. It basically felt like you were jumping through overly large hoops just to get to the good bit. There wasn't a sense of challenge in getting your reward. It's like walking into an art gallery, but told that before you can take a look at the work, you need to cough twice and spin around on the spot just to see the image. Sure, it's easy, but you don't feel like you earned it, especially considering you could easily see what it was before. That said, it did get more difficult towards the end, and the level of challenge that it brought to you was actually quite enjoyable. And because of that, it really felt like I worked for my meal. I enjoyed it at that point. It really became a good game, and if it had gone from that take at the very beginning, I felt like this would have been a very strong candidate. The complexity of the puzzles at the end were beautifully morphed puzzles, with beautiful images behind them. The images were so distorted at the end that they came into their own type of art. It certainly added appeal to myself, and I was glad I continued to the end. They should have had that level from the word go, and it would have been much stronger as a game. In summary, it was something different. I like different. It wasn't something I would normally play, but it was a new angle for me to enjoy. It was some fantastic imagery used, and some decent puzzles at the end. However, the slow and challenging beginning would lose some people, and I think that's a shame. So those that would have made it to the end would have been rewarded with what I think was absolutely stunning picture to finish with. But that's because it had a personal effect on me, okay? It's something that I, as a person, find really beautiful. So don't write this game off. If you get a few minutes to kill, then go for it. Give it a try. You might even find your next holiday destination. I know I found mine. So finally, taking the first place, charming its way into my personal favourite of the list, The Way of Yeji. Not even sure if that's how you pronounce it. This game was easily my favourite. It had depth, a storyline, characters. It had a beautiful style to it. It had some different elements of gameplay. Best bits? It was free. Something like this and it was free? Always on to a winner with that combination. The game itself is very pixelated, which was the artistic style that it was aiming for. I felt like it didn't take away from it, rather it added charm to the game. The game was enriched with depth and personality, and as you go further into the game, the atmosphere of it just envelops you. You feel immersed into the world. The game, despite its pixelated graphics, felt quite epic. There was such detail in background and foreground. It didn't feel lazy. A lot of work went into this game to make it the detailed story it was. I have yet to complete it though. However, it is safe to say that I'm wanting to see this one through to the end, so I am going to see it and complete it. So, why is it on my top 5? Well, firstly, it's because it wasn't Flappy Birds. Secondly though, this game had heart and soul. A lot of big modern games being spammed out onto the game industry market really lacked these two crucial ingredients. Without it, the game would die. Funnily enough, this game has heart, and more importantly, soul. The major difference is that this game is importantly just that. It is a game created by, and again, forgive my pronunciation here, Andre Teruya Echenberg, or Tishem for short, worked on this game. In his 40s, he's an architect and history teacher, and you can see this reflection in the style of the game. The landscapes and maps are huge in scale and might spread mightily across your screen, while they also reflected Eastern art and appearance. It's staying true to its inheritance. It's set in the East, so Tishem has worked excellently to reflect that. The game uses a combination of platform gaming and stealth aspects to tell the story. Characters in the game have a wealth of knowledge to share, each interactable. A feature I rather liked was the ability to whisper to nature. This allowed you to take control of an animal to help you explore and reach otherwise inaccessible places of the game. The story itself is an intriguing one. You initially play the role of Yeji's father, who has been wounded by a poison arrow when their village was attacked. His wife was killed in the onslaught, and he too is slowly dying from the poison. However, he needs to get Yeji to safety in the Temple of the Lively Light. The first level introduces you to the controls and the concepts behind the game, but what instantly stands out besides the visuals is the sound. Eerie feel is instantly cast upon the place. The effects of them are immediate, and I left myself feeling somewhat haunted by the unusual beauty of it. The compilation of all the elements has an almost meditative state. If I was to close my eyes and just listen, I find it quite soul-stirring. This is said to be a very long game, and as such I've downloaded it and eagerly await the chance to complete it. If you want my personal opinion, then definitely play it. It's initially confusing and slow to start with. Don't let that put you off. It's easily made up by the unique quality designed by Tashem. It's also great to see what appears to be an honest and genuine developer. When researching the game, posts from Tashem could be found, and his kind words and eagerness for feedback and criticisms, it warmed me to him and his game. It's not for the art, for the game itself. I would be honoured to complete the game for what appears to be a sincere and genuine developer, worthy of support and praise. So that completes my top 5 indie games of the week. If you disagree with anything I've said, please let me know in the comment section below. Like Tashem, I thrive off of feedback and need to improve. So please let us know what you want. Anyway, thank you for listening. This has been our top 5. I've been your host Edrickson from Freezer Crowd, here reporting for VideoGameAddictz. Thank you for listening guys, and take care.